Welcome back to my series of interviews that I'm having with various airsoft people. Today we have Rich. He's the squad leader of DMH, which is Dead Men's Hands. So that right? Right?
Yep, dead man's hands.
Okay. Glad to have you on here, Rich. I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate the invite to come out and do this, and yeah, let's do it up.
Okay, we're going to jump right in with the questions. And this is what I started everybody with. So this really works out good. How did you get started in airsoft?
Whew. All right. Well, it's been a while. I started in 2009. Um, we were in high school. A couple of friends they kept asking me to come out and play, and I was just like, I don't know. I don't think I want to do that. And just they were pretty persistent. Just hey, come on out. One day I was just like, you know what? All right, I'll come out and play. I think it may have been around this time of year too, January, February, around there, and there was snow everywhere, and played my first time, and I was like, wow, this is absolutely amazing. I want to do this all the time. And yeah, I mean, the rest is history. I've been playing since then.
Was it a local field or was it just like a backyard, like Concrete City or something like that?
So when I first started playing, we were playing up in the woods by one of the team members' house. And then we eventually moved to playing at Concrete City.
Okay, this leads into my next question. This is like currently, what is your primary replica and loadout? You know, you can go into as much detail as you want, or you can mention what you had when you first started and whatever you want to, however you want to lay it out there. But
When I first started, I played with a JG AK-47. Eventually moved on to a D-Boy Scar. And last year, was it last year? No, actually 2 years ago, I picked up a KWA M4 Ronin, and it's, I believe, the Gen 2. Um, that's been pretty good for me for the last couple of years. I can't complain. Um, I like to wear a plate carrier. And on my carrier, I got some Blue Force gear, double mag pouch, and then I have the S-Tech Kiwis. That's a triple mag pouch. Um,
now, what kind of sidearm do you have with your current loadout? I should say.
Sidearm. It's a Sig Sauer replica. I can't think of the brand, but it's CO2. I think it's pretty good. It's blowback. I actually won it in an Evite contest, so that was great.
That's good.
It was a good summer.
Now, one of the things that, like, when I was talking to my teammate Rebel Kevin, he mentioned that everybody had C11s, the Crossman C11s. Did you ever have
Yes,
one of those when you started out?
I did. Dick's Sporting Goods sold them. So it was, I think they were only like $40. So everybody, back then, everybody went to Dick's, got a C11, and that's what we used. Um,
They were either usually clear or clear with black or all black. It was hard to find the all black ones, I remember.
yeah, I have an all black one. I still have it.
It's funny that I still have a C11 and two other CO2 wind guns in the same family. I bought them all at the same time. All them $39 ones that all shoot like right at 400.
Yeah, they made them different back then.
Okay, this next question basically it moves it right to the next spot. Why and how did you get in the current role you play in airsoft now? Meaning, like, you know, you're the squad leader of an airsoft team, but like, are you an assaulter? Are you more like a support? What's your role other than a squad leader on the team?
Other than squad leader, I would say I'm probably an assault type player. Yeah, usually I feel like I'm the one leading the charge, but most times I feel like I just kind of sit there. I try to think of what the best tactic is before doing anything. See how things are playing out, and then go on my assault. When playing.
Well, now this one I'm gonna jump away from here real quick, and I'm gonna throw a curveball at you. Uh,
Okay.
your current team, like, is based out of where? You don't have to go into direct details, but just give an area.
So we're based out of the Wilkes-Barre area. Yeah, it used to be Hunlock. I moved from Hunlock, which is close. I mean, it's about 30 minutes from there. So it's not too bad. But if I had to say, we would be based out of the Wilkes-Barre area.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, we might as well segue right into the next question. What kind of camo types do you have? Past, present, future, whatever you're going to be running.
Okay. So we adopted using the ATAX ghost pattern for our team's main camo.
Very nice.
Um, we love it. It looks so good. We get so many compliments wherever we go. Um, yeah, our member Red suggested it, and we all looked at it. We were like, yes, this is DMH to the T. This is what we are rolling with going forward. Um, we do have a camo for Green Team, Woodland, because who doesn't who
Everybody's
doesn't
got
use
woodland of
Woodland?
some kind.
Right, right. So that's our Green Team camo. A couple of us have some multicam. I feel like that's another camo. You have to have a pair.
You got to have a
That's
tan. You got to have a green. It works.
right. Yeah, and it's great because our ATAX, a lot of teams accept that for tan team. So,
So yeah.
that's usually our go-to tan. But if there ever were a point where it wasn't an acceptable tan color, then we got to go green with the woodland. Yeah.
Would you ever think about getting a tan camo, or is that just not in the cards for you guys?
I have multicam. I have another member that has multicam. The other members, they don't have it yet, but it has been talked about with getting it.
I see, and this was one of the questions that uh, I another guy asked on Facebook that I saw. He asked if multicam was tan for a game that was coming up, and he said no, it's not considered tan. Which, okay, but I guess it's up to the event or the promoter or whoever's running it what they consider multicam to be.
That's true. I guess in its setting, it depends on what color it comes off across as. But
And it depends on the manufacturer. Now, the Cry versus the Rothko versus the Proper, there are three different looks to the multicam. They're all multicam, but they're just a tad different when you look at them side by side.
well, yeah, I guess that's true. That's interesting. Yeah, I just feel like anytime you see multicam used, it's on tan side. Like
Yep,
I
so
don't
true.
feel like I've ever really seen multicam on green. I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong there, but I would say 9 out of 10 times multicam is tan.
Now, the good thing about this too is that on certain games that I've seen in the past, they have a specific green side, they have a specific tan side, and they have a black team that you can get. It's usually a smaller like force that is tacking both of them. But I don't. Would your camo work for a black?
I would like to say yes.
I
I
would
was
say
gonna go.
yes too.
Yeah, I was gonna go to Bad Blood last year, and I'm sure you're familiar. They break it
Definitely,
down
definitely.
4 teams. I was gonna be on the black shirts, and my ATAX Ghost was an approved camo for pants on that team. So, I mean, I would say, I mean, it's a very dark color. It's I don't see why they couldn't put it on a black team if
Well,
that were the
that's my
case.
idea too. Like I do see, like usually if it's a milsim type thing where they have a green or tan, they usually have like a mercenary tan force that'll or mercenary black force. They'll either be black or like civilian clothes too. So
Hmm.
that's something like that. While we're on camo, there was one more thing I wanted to ask you about that I didn't ask you, and I want to do that. Would you ever go to a Fallout like wasteland type game? where it's like post-apocalyptic type game. Would you go to something like that?
Oh, absolutely. I like themes. Yeah, that's my probably my favorite thing. It's funny. Me and my crew had talked about if there were ever to be um, the division type game, like post apocalyptic. I don't know if you're familiar with the story.
Yeah, I
Um,
am.
hey, disease broke out, pretty much, turned everything upside down. We would love to go to something that's post apocalyptic.
Well, that's like I think like a wasteland. I don't think EMR's having it this year. Maybe they are, but I think it's either going to be Zulu or EMR has it. I'm not quite sure who's got it this year because they like with COVID they knocked it out, but then this year they might be doing it again. So that would be. I would love to be something like that. I would like to be an NPC in that. That's what I would like to do. I would love to do something like that.
Yeah,
And I think
absolutely.
like your Camo would fit in as some kind of mercenary force. That would be great. We have you run with the Patriots, but you all black.
Yeah, yeah, I would definitely be an NPC at an event. It's something I'll dress the part. I don't care.
That'd be cool. This also brings me to the next one. What do you think about playing in the current conditions like snow and cold? I got a lot of different answers on this one.
I love the snow. I would play in the snow every week if I could. It's funny, I don't like rain. That is, I know we're going off topic, compared to snow, but I feel like they're different. The snow is snow. It's fun. It's cold. I don't mind the cold when I'm playing. I don't even think about it.
One of the big
Um,
things that everybody mentioned on the cold was like the batteries. Usually they have problems with the batteries. And we did have somebody mention the rain that they don't like the rain because it destroys their replica. So that's
yeah,
another thing.
yeah. So yeah. I've had problems in the cold. You get maybe a couple games out of it, and then you're done. Unfortunately, you're done.
Especially in this
Um,
single digit weather that we've been having.
yeah, yeah. But it is what it is. You can't beat the experience.
Now, the next one is what is your favorite field and why? Now, this can be past and present. Like if you have a field from the past that you liked or a current field that you like, you can say both of them. But just give us an idea.
Oh wow. Okay. I really loved playing at Concrete City back back in the day before we had to stop playing there. Just I don't know, just the whole area. You had all these buildings, you had some open area, you had some woods. It was a fantastic mix. Um, Places that you have to pay for. Um, I guess favorite right now, it's tied. It's tied between EMR and Asylum. And Asylum is in Tannersville. The only problem with Asylum, I wish they played on Saturdays.
Now they play during the summer. They play 1 day a week and then Sunday, right?
Yeah, they're Sunday year round, and I think they do Thursdays, like Thursday nights.
I'm not quite sure. And EMR last year was on Saturdays, but before COVID they were on Sundays, if I remember
Oh,
correctly. So it's been switched up, and now he's doing Saturdays.
which I think Saturday's a much better day to play. You know, you work on Monday. I like Sunday to sit down, just relax, and then get everything. The body stop hurting,
Takes a little
and then
while to get back in shape to go again, then, right?
yeah, and so you got to wait a little bit, but it, I don't know. I would much rather play on Saturdays than Sundays. That is a definite.
Yeah, a lot of the people were mixed on like what they like, and I've had guys say, "Oh, I want to play both days." I'm like, "Okay, if you want to be a diehard, go ahead, But I don't think I could play both days.
So yeah, that's tough. And it's funny. We tried out OXL. What is it? Lingelstown? In Lingelstown, it's in what,
Lingelstown, yes.
Harrisburg. Um, we were talking to this group, and they're like, "Hey, are you guys coming back tomorrow?" we're, we're like, "No, it's a 2 hour drive. We're gonna just relax."
I played there 4 times, two with the original owners and two with the new owners. Okay, and the 2 times I went, once was on a Saturday by myself, and once was a Sunday with like a couple members of my team. It was interesting both days going on there, but you heard they're closing up too, right?
Yeah, they were supposed to close at the beginning of this year, and then I think they posted something that they were going to be open for another 4 to 6 weeks. Um,
I
so I think
heard they're going to be right up till March, and then they're still playing games as much as they can get in. Uh, who knows? It could extend out. Who knows? By the end of the day, you don't know when it's going to actually close. So,
are they still open every Saturday?
yes, every Saturday and Sunday
Okay.
they're doing games every weekend. I guess until the end of February,
Yeah.
and they've had some really cold games up there. I don't know if I'd want to go up with single digits. That'd be a little tough.
Yeah, I think we're looking to get up there at least one more bowl down there from where we are, at least one more time before they close up.
Well, make sure you check the online site just to see
Oh
if
yeah,
they're doing any games. That's the best way.
yeah, absolutely.
All right, that also brings us this another segue into the next part. What is the max distance? You talked about traveling 2 hours, but what is the max distance you'll travel to attend an airsoft event or an open play? There might be two differences there.
Um, so I think for an open play, I'll travel about 2 hours. That's not too bad. Yeah, it's still a little bit of a rough ride, but we're limited with fields that we have in our area. So
Okay,
I
yeah.
driving the 2 hours, I don't think that's that bad. Um, for an event, I'd probably say about 2 hours as well. Um, and maybe it depends on what kind of event it is. Maybe I would stretch that to maybe about 3.5 hours travel time.
Now they
Um,
are having an event March 19th at Skirmish. That's a 12-hour event, starts at noon and goes to 12 midnight. I guess
yes, they're
nothing says you got to
close.
go 12 hours there, but I mean, that's when the event is. That's about less than an hour from us.
Yes.
Uh, I was talking with a guy from Altoona to see about a field out there. It's an old paintball place that they're thinking about doing airsoft, but that's 2 hours and a half, 2.5 hours to get out there to Altoona. Do you think that would be a place you'd want to go to?
Um, I'll tune it. Yeah, I mean, about 2.5 hours. I could do that. That's not bad.
Now, one of the things I've been hearing a lot of good things, and I'm just throwing these out here. Warzone, that's down in southern Jersey. That's 2 hours 45 minutes
Oh,
going around Philly. If you go through Philly, it's about 20 minutes shorter, but you're going right through Philly to get to the field in southern New Jersey. But I'm hearing really good things about it. The only negative thing that I heard is it's $30 for the day.
yeah, that's a trip. And going out of state, for that one's a
Yeah.
trip. Especially having to drive through Philly.
Well,
That's
that's like going to all. There's a lot of fields in southern New Jersey, like that Soft Air, OTP, Atlas Airsoft. They're all starting at like 2.5 hours to 3 hours, like Atlas. Atlas is 3.5 hours. There might be fantastic fields, but once you get over that 2.5 hour mark, then you got to realize that okay, 2.5 hours down, 2.5 hours up, and then you got a day of airsoft. I don't know how that would be traveling like that.
yeah, that's rough, especially for the driver. yeah, that's yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, I mean, even the 2 hours. I mean, out of that whole day, you're getting up early, you're getting ready, you're driving about 4 hours, all day on top of playing airsoft for a good, I don't know, 7 hours, depending on how long the place is open for, or how many games they get in
A-
per the
and
day.
not to mention the stop for grub on the way home type thing too. So,
Yeah, absolutely. You're not getting home until 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. I mean, but we do it because we love what we do.
well, that's one of those things, like you said, having doing something like that on Saturday is a lot better than trying to do it on Sunday. Because I don't know if I'd like to get home at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and then try to turn around and go back to work the next morning.
Right.
That'd be a
Yeah, it's
little
tough.
tough. That'd be a little tough.
It's tough. There's a difference between being active all day and being up late, and not doing all anything all day and being up late. There are two different feelings in the morning.
That also gets us to the next part. We're all talking about airsoft fields and stuff like that. When you go to a location, doesn't matter where it is, it can be a past one or a present one. What turns you off when you go to a field that you say, "Oh, I don't know if I want to come back here," or just during gameplay that just turns you off?
Um, it's funny. I understand where people come from. Um, for person like we don't have a field right now that's specifically our field. So when we get together to play, we all want to be on the same team. And you go to open plays, and there are fields out there that say, hey, everybody's here to just have a good time. We're going to split everybody up, which I get on a fairness level.
Sure,
um
sure.
but I mean, you're still there to play with your crew. And it's hard. So I have a very small crew to begin with. So if the three of us, or five of us, are going somewhere and they're splitting us up, we might as well just find like somewhere in the woods and play
True,
2v3
true.
or something. Um that it's just one of my little pet peeve, but we deal with it. Because what can you do? You're there for the good time. Yeah, you want to roll with your crew, but it is what it is. So another turnoff, with going to field, we recently went somewhere that we were just very suspicious about what was going on. Um, we were in the staging area and we were waiting to get chronoed. And I had asked, I'm like, hey, when are we going to do this? And this one guy was just like, hey, does your gun shoot under 400? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, well, then you're good. You don't need the chrono. I'm like,
So he's taking your
oh,
word for it.
yeah. He wasn't even a worker, he was just another player. And there wasn't even a worker out in the staging area. And
Did they actually have a chrono there, or it wasn't there any kind of device at all there?
they had in the past, but we haven't been there in a little bit, so we just went back out. And we're like, okay, well, sure. But yeah, it was just an odd day. People were shooting in the staging area. A BB actually ricocheted off the ground and almost hit us. I just turned around, I'm like, yo, dude, what are you doing, man?
So the
um
guys had mags in their guns, no barrel bags, anything like that.
yeah, the mags and guns, just shooting. I'm just like, man, what is going on? Then we were out in the field, and just people are getting out, and as they're walking away, they're just taking their masks off while the game's happening. like, like, what is happening here? Um, yeah, it was just a weird day. It was a very weird day.
Is that a location you'll go back to again soon?
Um, yeah, I'm not ready to give up on it. So we'll definitely try it out again. But if it's a bad experience again, we probably won't
Is
go
there
back.
somebody you can talk to about maybe having them chrono the guns?
Maybe, you know, I I could probably reach out to them and see what they say, but who am I? I'm just
Well, I
yeah,
understand.
I'm just oh hey, I'm just a customer. It's it's I mean, nothing you can do.
Now this is a place you paid to play at, not a just a walk
Right.
on.
Right. We
Okay, I
paid
just
to
want to
play
get
there.
that distinction right away. That's interesting.
Yeah, it was a very odd day. And me and one of my teammates, we were just like, what is going on here?
Okay, this is going to lead us into the next thing, which is the funniest story you have while playing airsoft. This could also be the most memorable story, but usually it's the funniest story that you'll have. So knock yourself out, Rich.
Oh man. Okay, so I want to say it was probably in 2010. Um, it was me, another member on the team, some other guy, and then I was in college at the time, so there were three guys I was going to college with. They were my buddies. I'm like, why do you guys come on out and play airsoft with us? Let's get you trying. And we lent them guns, and the one we gave them one of those Springer M4s where you had to take the mag and pull the spring down and
To
shake
load the
it
BBs up and it had to
for the
cock each
BBs to get in
time.
there. Yeah, and so what? When that mag's fully sprung, it's what, maybe 20 rounds, 14, 20 rounds. I'm I'm coming up to shoot him, and he runs out of BBs, and he tries to call a timeout.
Oh, that's nice.
He's trying to call a timeout mid game. He's like, "Timeout! I need to reload."
There's no
Me,
timeout in airsoft.
exactly. That's what I said. Oh man, I cracked up. Yeah, our other member cracked up. It, uh, it was just one of those things. It's funnier thinking about it and having to be there and actually hear it.
I would have
Oh
liked to seen that. That would have been funny. It'd be like looking at him like, no.
yeah, and here's the best part: is he was wearing a yellow hoodie too.
Oh, really
we're
blends into the woods too, right?
and we're playing in the woods. Oh man, yeah, that was a funny day. Um, Another one, I don't know if someone else will get the humor in it. We were at an op uh one time, and I think our team's goal was we had these crates that we had to protect, and me and one member, we were protecting one crate to the end of the game. Just the final horn blew, whatever, and we walked out carrying it because we protected it, we held it. So we get back to the staging area with it, and then we look over, and out of the woods comes two of our other members walking out carrying their crate. We were just like, oh my god, no way did this just happen.
Was there multiple? Was that the objective? There was multiple crates to be
Yeah,
able to
we
get.
there were two crates, and we got both crates.
Oh, nice.
It was just funny to see those two walking out carrying it together, and we were just it, I don't know, maybe it was one of those ones. Maybe other people don't see the humor in it, but for us to see those two working together the way they did, we thought it was funny.
Well, I'll tell you what. There's been a lot of games that, like you've been on. One of the most memorable things that I have, and it concerns you, is when I originally got the field set up with some buildings that only had 4-foot walls, and we had pistol matches.
Yeah, oh man, those were good times.
And it's they always say you hear now about headshots, this and that. I think all of us were wearing just like goggles. Nobody had like full face on most of the time.
Oh man, I wore like it was glasses. It wasn't even goggles for me. It
Shooting
was just
glasses,
like those
and we
NCA
were
glasses.
using the C11s and then wind guns. They were all shooting like right at 400 with 2.5s too. And I mean,
Yeah.
we're shooting in a like 100-foot compound, shooting at each other.
Yeah, it's we didn't think about that stuff back then.
Oh, like
Yeah.
we're brave. Oh, what the hell? Get chatting about that. It doesn't bother us.
Yeah, right. I've noticed in airsoft more people are wearing lower face protection more than like ever before. And it was like a big transition to see because people just used to wear glasses. There are people I see that still wear just glasses. And I look and I'm like, man, like, are you not worried about like losing teeth?
Well,
Or like,
I always see the guys that'll wear like the Oakleys and no retention, and they're they start complaining about getting shot in the face or shot in the neck, and I'm like, dude, you have no full CLI protection. You have nothing on your face, nothing on your head. Uh, why are you complaining about getting shot in the face? You're not wearing the proper protection to do it. And
Right.
one of the things I think now too is with the higher rate of fire and everybody's using real heavy BBs, having some face protection on is like a must nowadays too.
Oh, absolutely. I switched to dye mask, and I don't care. Everybody has their own opinions. I know you got your mill simmers, who are auntie like, hey, this is what you should look like when you're playing. Those are the hardcore guys. Um, you know,
Yep.
I'm laid back. You've known me for years. I don't care. I'm gonna dress and play the way I want to play. But like it's funny. I want to protect the face. I went with the dye. I love it. I love how it looks. I get shot in the forehead every time.
And it bounces off the mask. It's not a problem.
No, I get hit right above the mask
Oh, but okay, I got you.
every time. Every time I play, it doesn't matter. I get hit in the forehead or I get hit right in the finger.
Well,
Constantly.
the biggest thing for me is like the dye mask. I love that it wraps to your ears, which is the biggest thing for me. When I was ref in the arena, I got shot inside
Oh,
an ear. I mean, put me down. So ever since then, I have the cups on my ears, and my
smart.
mask wraps in on it. I mean, there's no way a BB's getting in. Is it a little hot during the summer? Maybe, but like the dye mask, that you could sweat in that too. But I'd rather have a little bit more safety because I can't afford to lose teeth now at my age, or
Right.
like get a BB in my ear and lose my hearing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And my first time using a dye mask, I still had a BB get under and up.
Holy jeez.
It like rolled. I was wearing a schmog, and it rolled right up the schmog into into the mask. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, how does this even happen?
Now I actually have. Well, it's actually broke now. I have a dye i3 mask. That's how old it was that I used to use for paintball, and that was fantastic. Used to have the detachable face piece, and you could take it off or leave it on. I always had it on. I never took it off. It was like a soft rubber grill on here. It's not
Yeah.
the hard thing like the dye i5s are now. But it was fantastic mask. Um, let's move into the next one because I don't want to like hold you up here too much. But and this is an opinion. How long do you think you'll still be playing airsoft in the future?
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, I'll play as long as time permits me to play. Um, we did have a little bit of a break, my team. Just life got in the way. If
COVID.
people yeah, COVID happened, but actually COVID is we got back to playing when COVID started. I just think just kind of opened up some schedules. I used to work two jobs. So my time to play was very limited. And just scheduling around with everybody, it's hey, you want to go and play? Oh, I have work, okay, hey, I have work
Yeah.
too, it turned into a big break where we could not get together and play. And then, once things kind of slowed down in life,
If it
and the
does, yeah.
world, um, it rejuvenated our team and got us back out and playing. But as far into the future, I'm going to play until I cannot play no longer.
That's what I keep saying too. And hope, knock on wood, I hope it's for a while.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm going to do, just so everybody can get it in the description, is going to be a link to your web page where they can see your team, see the pictures. I'm a link to your Facebook page. I don't know. Do you have a YouTube channel? I wasn't sure.
No, not for airsoft.
Okay. So I'll link to the Facebook and to the web page. This way people can contact you if they need to. And I'll tell you what, this has been a good time, Rich. I really appreciate you coming on. And I think we got some really good stuff going on here tonight. So, as always, thanks for coming on, and to everybody out there, remember to have a good day, and we'll see you later. See
Yeah,
you
thank
later,
you for
Rich.
having me. Hey, see you later. Thank you.
All right.